Oh, hi, Homeworthy. I'm Savvy.
And I'm Nate.
And welcome to our apartment on the Upper East Side. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
I'm Savvy.
I'm Nate.
I work here in New York as an artist, speaker, and a content creator.
And I am a M&A lawyer in the city.
And this is our apartment in the Upper East Side. We found this place when I was on Street Easy. I felt like morning, noon, and night because we knew we had to get out of our apartment, but we didn't have an apartment. And it's that classic, your lease is ending and you find the apartment 2 weeks before situation.
Yeah,
And
I don't think I'd even seen
You
it
didn't see it.
in
I
person.
was really nervous.
I relied
about
on
that.
you. It was all on you.
Which I'm glad that you like it. I was super stressed
lot
at
of
the
pressure.
time. But we came and toured it, and right off the bat, I kind of knew this was the place. We knew we wanted a place with 2 bedrooms if we were going to grow our family, more space than our original apartment, and I loved just the architecture of this building, and this apartment is so special, and it's very, I don't know, historic, and we love that in apartments and houses. And so right when we saw it, I knew that this was the one.
Yeah, it's very different than our last place, which was a typical doorman, new building, new appliances.
Yeah.
And we knew, I think, that we wanted something that was a little bit more of a blank canvas that we could make our own, put our personal touch on it, let our creative juices fly, and create our own space.
Yeah, a place that felt more like home is what we were looking for. And this was actually the only apartment that we toured in person, or I did.
That's right,
I guess. The only one that we went in person, then I saw it and done deal. It's such a gem. I feel so fortunate that we get to live here. It's been such a great apartment and great home to bring our daughter home to.
Absolutely. And it's broken up into different segments.
And I
different
like that.
spaces.
Yeah, I think our old apartment had a even though it was small, it was open. And this having different rooms for different purposes is really nice.
Definitely.
It just feels it enhances, I'm gonna say cozy again, it enhances that cozy vibe and gives a distinction for each space, which I like. So it was a completely blank canvas, like Nate was saying. And so when we designed this spot, there's not a decision or an item or a paint color in this apartment that wasn't decided on by the both of us. I think that we didn't really have an idea when we came in here, first off, of what we wanted the space to look like. And it's truly taken 4 years. It wasn't done in 6 months, this is great, this is our apartment. It was a very long process of collecting items that meant a lot to us, that felt emotional. I don't know, that it was a long process instead of a shorter one, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think it's still over. I think that's one of the cool things about design and having a space that's your own is that it's continually evolving.
Yeah.
We're always still looking at each space, especially now that we're parents, and thinking, all right,
Oh,
how
yeah.
does this now fit into our lives? How do we want to change this based on what we're feeling at that time in that season, and
each
how it can
room
change.
definitely got a total remakeover once we had our
Did,
daughter.
yes.
Baby-proofing everything, making sure that there was room for stuff.
Less sharp edges.
More soft things. But I think with the main idea we had in mind was creating some place that felt like a home in the city. Because from our last apartment that felt very city apartment, having a place that felt cozy was super important to me.
Something where you could be in the space and it wouldn't feel like you're necessarily in the middle of Manhattan.
Yeah. First off, obviously, having a baby, we looked through the lens of safety first off. When we go through our apartment, I was like, this is the death trap. So a lot of things change through that lens, but there's also a second lens of wanting it to be real, and not trying to, we have her toys out all the time. I want her to be able to not have to find her toys and search for them, that she can easily grab her stuff, and that this is her home too, and not hiding her toys or whatever. But so you will see a lot of stations for a girl around the house. And
it's also the realization that we live in an apartment in New York City. We don't live in a giant house that has lots of different rooms where it can be designated space for her, and then other spaces that she just doesn't go to. Every space, including
is her space.
The nooks in our bathroom, are fair game for her to explore and figure out. So it really is having to use every ounce and make sure that it's
functional, safe, aesthetic.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's a good mix. Yeah. The Venn diagram.
There's a circle in there somewhere. So this is our foyer, entryway, hallway, dining room, bar.
Multi-purpose space, whatever we need it to be at that moment in time.
At the moment in time.
Yeah.
But we spend so much time in this room. We spend every meal right here. Obviously, we have a chair for our daughter. And this is a space that when in designing it, I knew I wanted to be cohesive with the rest of the space, and kind of starting off with a cooler, like calmer vibe palette. Keeping all of the artwork black and white was an intention, and it's been fun to create and gather things over time. Whenever we're fortunate enough to travel, something we do is we always grab art. That's kind of our souvenir that we always get. And so a few of these pieces are from our travels, but also just from interesting moments in life. Like this middle one, the Hemingway poster, it's actually a menu. Whenever on our honeymoon and on our baby moon, there's this bar in the Ritz, Paris called the Hemingway Bar. And it's where Hemingway wrote.
He would do some writing, probably a lot of drinking, a little bit of both.
Yeah, but that's the menu. And so we just bought the menu, and it just makes me so happy to get to see a place that was special to us in our honeymoon and our baby moon, getting to be there.
Been back to multiple times, yeah.
A lot of the styling in this apartment is objects where I'm emotionally attached to any object, but I wanted it to be objects that other people would be emotionally attached to them as well. And it's been very cool to kind of gather things. We have like a matchbook box of everything, and boxes of people's apartments, restaurants we've been to. Yeah. And then these are super special. I love these.
Yes, those are my great-grandmother's martini glasses.
For her wedding, right?
From her wedding, yeah. That have been passed along and now are here in New York in our apartment all the way from Missouri, so.
I love it, it's so special. I think this was from a Florence trip. This is from when we went to Prague. This is our building from 1940s. I don't even remember how we found that. I think I saw a TikTok one time that you can get photos of the outside of your buildings online for some sort of documentation, and we did, and that's super special to have. A lot of random stuff in the apartment that's been collected.
Yeah,
but
and a lot of your art around the apartment too.
Yeah, a lot of my art too. A lot of my stuff's over there, but
this you may not know, Savvy is an incredible artist.
Thank you.
Her pieces will be showcased throughout.
Thanks. It's very fun to decorate and find things, but keeping very intentional. I have a hesitancy to just, if I love it, it's gonna go up. And so I think that where we balance each other out is you love things and you see like a simplicity eye. I think that's where you look through things and saying, all right, let's take it away. What's the most important vibe? What's the most important piece? And so making those together has been, I think, where we see the fluidity in the apartment.
Yeah, I think that's right. That looks like it could be us.
And so we put it up there.
And now it hangs
There's
in
a bunch of these random people in the apartment.
Exactly.
We take our Christmas cards in Central Park every year, and we've done that for the last 5 years.
6 years, yeah.
And so instead of just framing the actual Christmas card, we just decided to frame the picture. But yeah, it's a tradition we have, and I think that was maybe the first year we actually did it. So that was from 5 years ago. It's very special to see though. These two paintings are actually, if you go to the Met archives online, you can actually download a lot of free images that you can put art. And so living near the Met, we go all the time, and it's such a gift to get to be there, and it's such a cool thing that we get to experience. And on their website, you can download some art for free too, which is super cool, and love having parts of the Met in our home. For people who don't drink a lot, we do have a lot of alcohol, but I think that whenever we do drink, you like to, on maternity leave, you created, one of his goals was to create the perfect martini, and you did.
Did I?
I don't think I did. Really good.
I have lots of attempts. I'm a lot better at drinking alcohol than I am at creating drinks, I've come to learn. I'm gonna keep trying and learning and getting better, but I seem to be better at consuming it, so. I tried to do a gin, Hendrix, dirty martini.
Frozen glass.
Yeah. It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't, I'm not competing with the best martinis in New York anytime soon. So the Carlisle has me beat still. All right, Homeworthy, I'm out. I'd like to say that the decisions in our apartment is a joint effort between Savvy and I, but we all know who the real boss is, so I'm going to let her show the rest of the apartment.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye. Peace. Bye. This is our living room. This is the room we definitely spend the most amount of time in, and it's one of my favorite rooms in the apartment. It actually just recently got a overhaul as soon as our daughter became mobile, and I realized so many things in here were a death trap. Like this little ottoman got redone. It was originally a glass mirror, sharp edges insanity. And it's been so fun having this in here. Not only does it create so much space for her to move and have fun in here and run around, but seeing her learn how to walk by holding onto the edge of this is so special. It's also been so key having this as a movable tray, because whenever she's in here and we're hanging out, we just pick this up, slide it over here, and she can crawl on top of it, have a heyday, which is super fun. But I love this space. We kind of chose a blue to go off of when we painted these cabinets. They were white bookshelves, and then we painted them this color blue, and so there's a lot of blue hints in this room, along with kind of keeping with the neutral tones of a lot of golds, a lot of browns in our apartment. Full transparency, this desk normally, actually, if it's a big work day or something's happening, this fits, this goes this way. It takes up so much room, but that way whoever's working can also be a part of the family and watch TV and join in. But this way they're looking at the wall. But this is our working desk. And then these bookshelves are my favorite. They have so much fun stuff in them that is so special to me that I just love. From photos of our family, books that have been from both sides of our grandparents, it's collections from when we've gone on our travels. This couch, we originally had a couch in here. It was the first purchase we had ever made as a couple. It was this blue velvet couch that we loved, hence all the blues in this room. We just got rid of it like a few months ago, and I'm obsessed with this couch. It's essentially more of like a bed than a couch. We can all fit as a family vertically, fits included, and it's amazing for Saturday morning movies. It's great. The couch and this ottoman are both from West Elm, and these chairs are from CB2. You can really lounge in these. They have enough room for you and a dog, which is great. And they've been with us for a very long time. This was maybe the first purchase we got for this apartment because we finally had space. We normally had just had a couch for forever, and having more space to host people was so much fun to have, and it was great. This fireplace was one of the main reasons why I fell in love with this apartment. It's so huge and I just love it. Fitz's bed lives in there right now. It's non-working, so don't worry, he's completely safe. But these gold decals, I just love so much. If I'm being transparent, I don't know the history behind them. I love them, but when we were going to the Met recently, actually with our daughter, one of the sculptures had a very similar decal, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to figure that out. So this is reminding me that I need to find out the history behind these, because I love these. I think it's so cool. This is such a fun, gigantic space. This is a vintage mirror we got a few years ago that I just love as well. I think it's so funky and gigantic and huge and really interesting. So I love that. This bookcase, again, has a lot of stuff that I love, but what I want to tell you guys about is that banjo up top. So I was Miss America in 2017, and during that year, so many people would give me so many gifts from past just Miss Americas. There's so much history. I was the 96 Miss America, so it's almost 100 years of history. And so one of the things though that people would always give me was this license plate that was made in 1964 when the very first Miss Arkansas became Miss America, Donna Axum. And those license plates were everywhere, apparently. We have about 15 that people gave me. However, this one is connected to a banjo. And on Nate and I's wedding day, someone, I still don't know who, placed this banjo on my parents' front doorstep. So if you are watching this, please let me know. Thank you. It's one of my most prized possessions. I think it's so fun and so cool. It reminds me of Arkansas, it reminds me of home. And it's such a sweet memorabilia of my time as Miss America, which I love. A lot of my art is in this bowl. I don't really know why it's in there. If I'm being transparent, I really need to hide these and put these in a place that's safe for keeping. But this has been such a sweet and cool thing. That gavel over there is Nate's grandfather's gavel. Just lots of stuff in here, again, that reminds us of family and is like home, is something that's very special to me. This little section, something that you'll see a lot in this room as I'm looking around, is that there are so many family photos, baby photos. I just know that I will look back on this season of life as the golden days and as the best years of my life. Getting to raise my daughter here in the city is such a joy and a privilege. And it's so fun getting to just print out photos of her and put them everywhere. She's the best. This is a drawing I did of one of the paintings in the Met. We love going there and doing speed drawings of some of our favorite paintings. And this is one that I love. It's, I think, one of the Monets that he did in Paris that I love. But having little nooks of stuff of gathering little trinkets is something that I love to do. While I was getting ready, there was a small part of me that thought, should I hide her toys or should I put them away? And then I thought, no, that's dumb. This is real life and this is her room too. And so this is a living room basket of toys that we have in here. There's a lot of other storage behind the couch for her toys as well. But having, again, nooks and stations for her in the apartment is just crucial in having, you know, the ability to entertain her, having fun with her in different spaces, but also just that it's easy to grab for her. So when she sees it and she wants to play, she can easily do that is important to me. Again, more family photos. These are wireless sconces that, you know, thankfully I have to be transparent. I tried to command strip them on and that was dumb. So I TaskRabbited someone to help drill them in and do it correctly because that's important. More family photos, and this is another drawing that I did in the Met. Something that is so special of getting to live in the Upper East Side is proximity to the Met, which is just such a treasure. And a game that I've gotten to play sometimes with my friends is we'll just go and do little speed drawings. And so you look at a painting and you give yourself 2 minutes to try to recreate it. And so this is on the second floor to the left, the red room. I don't know which painting it is, but it's one of the flower paintings in there. And it's just super fun to do. It's very life-giving to create art. There's so many inspiring things about living in the city and so many inspiring people. And it's fun being a tourist in our city, which is great. We actually met 10 years ago now. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
I think is that right? It's 10?
Let's go with 10. Okay. That sounds right.
10, yeah. 10 at a wedding.
Give or take. At
one of our friends' weddings, and you were a groomsman in the wedding, and I was not a groomsman in the wedding, but I was attending the wedding, and it was kind of, I mean, I don't want to say love at first sight, but we met and we're long distance, and then we got married, and it was kind of in game after we met, I think.
Yeah, we met briefly on the dance floor. Had a very awkward double date the next
awkward,
day.
Yeah, it was painful.
And then we were long distance for 3.5 years until we got married.
Yep. We didn't even live in the same state until we were married, which is kind of hilarious looking back. But I always recommend long distance now because I feel like it helps relationships.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10 years ago. What was the nursery before? Narnia?
Yeah,
essentially
Narnia,
the room of requirement. I feel like it was
hodgepodge of my office and
storage,
guest bedroom.
Yes, when we used to have people. I mean, people can still stay here, but they would be sleeping with a baby, so I don't think that they want to stay here. So it was before it was a nursery. It was a crazy room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it became my personal favorite room in the house. It's so perfect. My personal favorite room in the house, my daughter's room. Come on in. It is my favorite. When I found out I was having a girl, I was so excited, but my mind just went straight to, I want to make this the girliest room possible. And it feels like it. This room is this is gonna sound weird. It's so peaceful. For being a room that holds so much chaos, it is such a comforting, joy-filled room for me. I love coming in here. We play in here all day, every day, and it's so much fun. I love being in here. The first decision in this room was the wallpaper, actually. And so if you feel it, it's from Farrow & Ball, and it's a little bit raised, and so you can feel the paint on the wall. So when you're in here close up, it has that painterly texture, which I love. I debated going back and forth if I wanted to personally paint a mural, but at that point I was 8 months pregnant and I couldn't do anything. So I decided this was the next best thing. And I love it. I feel like it just shifts your eye upwards and it's just very fun. The next decision was this chair. Such a great chair. Shoulder height. This rocks too, which I love. And it's just great and cozy. Having this be pinks and greens was a no-brainer, and everything truly came together very seamlessly for this room, which I love. There's a lot of things in here, honestly, are gifts from friends and family, which just makes this even more of a special place. Like this blanket was crocheted by Nate's aunt, which is so special. And the colors fit perfect, and she didn't even know our colors, and they were perfect, so how serendipitous. In this little nook, we have a lot of little sentimental items. I'm gonna put this in the passy bowl. This little outfit was mine, apparently, from growing up. My mom had saved it. And then that sweet carriage up there was the very first gift my mom got herself when she found out she was having a girl. And I remember pushing that little thing when I was a kid, thinking it was so beautiful and would have a baby doll in there. And it's just so special to get to keep these things in my daughter's room. I love it so much. Everything in this room makes me smile. It's so sweet. This was a gift it's a tea set. It's so cute, for my sister-in-law. This little sweet Peter Rabbit frame was a gift from my mother-in-law. She actually got it for herself when she was in that life of having kids, and saved it for a grandchild, and I love it. And so that's here. And this book actually is also really cool. When we first moved here, one of the tenants gave us this book because he wrote it. And it's so cool and just special to have that here too. Monet's my favorite artist, and it just felt like another just crazy serendipity moment of I love life, and I feel so fortunate. It's probably super annoying to hear, but I feel like I'm living my dream life right now. And getting to put all of these things in her room was such a joy to me, and I love getting to create it. These IKEA cabinets are so funny. These were actually our friends. I put these they're just like the IKEA random ones that I put these moldings on to make them look a little elevated with little knobs, but we carried these on our backs a few blocks. I do not recommend. Do not recommend. It was terrible. Storage. These 3 baskets up there hold diapers and wipes and backups of, diaper rash cream, everything we could do. And I'm so thankful we have those storage. There's so much, again, we keep talking about how storage is a luxury here in New York. And so finding cute ways to store things is key. Now, I will say it's a little bit awkward sometimes if I'm like, oh no, I just changed her and there's not a diaper in sight, to finagle one of those, but it can be done. Again, we have a lot of toy stations for her, at the ready toys that she can grab. There's one little section over here and her bookshelf, which I'll go to. We try to rotate as much as we can for toys, and I also try to condense. Living in New York, you don't have that much space, and storage is a luxury. And so being smart and fun about her toys, it is kind of a battle, but honestly, I just keep everything anyways because I'm emotionally attached to it all. So we just kind of rotate as they go. This wall is, again, this is probably, everything in here just has an emotional touch for me. This was a gift from one of my close friends for my husband and I's wedding, so long ago. This was the very first gift I got myself when I found out we were having a girl on our baby moon in Paris. This little book right here this is a great idea for a baby shower. This is a book of paintings called Mothers and Their Children, but my friends use that as the guest book for our baby shower. And so if you flip through the pages, it's just tons of our friends and family writing messages to our daughter, which is so special to have, and in such a cool book too. I just love that. This is a book of prayers our other friends wrote her. This is a picture of Nate and I on our baby moon. We got this in Florence on our honeymoon. It's just, there's so much love in this room. So I spend so much time in this room, and it came together so sweetly. It just makes me smile, and I feel so blessed. Nate will tell you, and also my mom will say, that this is more so for me than my daughter. I just think this is so fun and so girly to get to just have stuffed animals. And again, what's actually really sweet about this is that these are all gifts. I think the only one I bought was this green guy because I thought he was sweet. But I feel so fortunate to have so much community that love our daughter well and get her little cute little bears. It's like the little plaza bear with his little plaza robe. It's so cute. It's so sweet. I will say though, Fitz, it's a battle between who's has ownership over these, me, Fitz, or my daughter. She doesn't really care about these yet. We go through half of those I feel like every single day. I say she loves to read. She probably just loves to throw them out of the shelf if we're being transparent. We love this bookshelf though. This is from West Elm. I don't know what we did without having a bookshelf. We go through books all day, every day. It's really fun. And I love getting little seasonal books. So you can see there's like a B is for Boo for Halloween and Madeline's Christmas time. I had good intentions of having a rotation with the books, but I just kind of like having them all out here. If we're feeling Christmassy, we can read a Christmas book. The crib, this chair, and the dresser are all from Namesake. I have loved this crib so much. It's been such a great crib, such a great centerpiece too. I know that I wanted to find a gold crib, but I love the finish of this. It was very easy to assemble together. It's such a sturdy crib too that I know that we'll have this for forever, for our next children too, and all of that stuff. We always have a little seasonal sweater on the edge. This is her springtime sweater. It's super fun and cute. We've done, the Christmas sweater, the Valentine sweater, Halloween, all that jazz. So she needs to find I need to find a summer sweater for her to put up there. But it's fun to get to decorate this in ways that feel maybe a little more eccentric than the rest of our apartment, because we get to just kind of lean into having a girl and letting this be as fun of a space for her as it can be. I know we said this before, but this is truly such a calm space, and this tree outside, I just love it so much. It's this gorgeous yellow, like sunshine in the fall, and then it has white little buds in the spring. It's like I hit the jackpot with a little beautiful color green. I used to say in our old apartment, we were just in the city, and I used to always say I miss the color green, and it's so perfect. It matches the room too. It's the right shade, but it's perfect. I was Miss America 9 years ago now, which seems crazy. So whenever I talk about it, it seems like an eons, a different lifetime ago, a different human ago. And I look back on it so fondly. It was the best, but absolutely the hardest year of my life. And there was a time where it was really hard for me to look back on it, but I look back on it now with such kinder eyes, I think, and knowing that so many of the things that I went through that year grew me into the human that I was supposed to become. And it was such a special time, and it set up the trajectory for my career, what I do now, and it's very fun to, it's such an interesting, crazy thing that even with my daughter, like showing her the crown for the first time was super weird, and things like that. It feels like a different life, integrating especially our new lives now.
I mean, we had been dating, a year and a half maybe?
Yeah.
A year and a half. I was in my final year of law school in DC, so we were already long distance. So in some ways we might have even got to see each other more than we otherwise would have, because you were in DC so much that year for different events. I mean, it was an incredible experience from the outside to get to see her do something that she was so clearly meant to be doing, and kind of see her shine, and the skill set and just the vibrant sunshine that Savvy is, get to see the whole world, enjoy that, and see that as well was really special.
That's really nice. It was crazy, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It was, so the apartment, our first apartment was in Kansas City.
Yes, yeah.
And I had already been living there and you moved in. So it was kind of a space that was mine, and then we were melding everything that you had into it. And so, I mean, it definitely took some time, I think, to kind of figure out how this all works. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
and like finding things. And I feel like too, we definitely have individually very different styles, but I feel like this place is such a good cohesive mix of like who we are as a couple and what we like, which is really special and fun. And I feel like we've done a good job of that.
Yeah. I think it's important to have veto rights.
Yes,
something
there's
that
veto
we talk
rights.
About.
We don't really have a limit on veto rights. As I'm saying that out loud,
you shouldn't have a limit on veto
there's
rights.
no limit on veto
If you're adamantly
rights.
against it.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you create a good argument and you can veto something.
Look, you have the full ability to convince the other person otherwise, but
it's true.
If you're diehard against it, then we respect
the veto.
Yeah, respect the veto. We are never leaving this apartment, ever. Our daughter will get married here.
On
She'll
the
raise
rooftop.
her kids here.
Fitz will be here the whole time
Fitz
too.
will be here.
I have no idea. That would be a dream though. So I know that right now purse bowl is trending. This is our sunglass bowl, but this is purse drawers where I change purses a lot. So this is full of everything I could need. It's always mostly lipsticks if we're being transparent, but sunscreen, hand sanitizer, double-sided tape, a measuring tape, anything that we would need, my wallet, AirPods, most things go in here. That way we can swap our stuff and go out the door real quick. But let's go to the bedroom. This is our bedroom, and it honestly, compared to the most of the house, in my mind, feels a lot calmer. There's a lot less decor in here, but one of the main things that I wanted to feel in here was just calm, peaceful vibes, going to sleep. I love going to sleep. I love a place that feels very, very cozy and at peace. These room was actually the first time I did faux wall molding. So there's faux wall molding throughout the entire house that's stuck on there with some, molding tape that I did a few years ago. So don't zoom in too close on the 90-degree angles. They're not perfect, but I feel like gave our walls just like a master's degree. They totally elevate a space and make it look like there's something there, even if there's not. When we found out we could have a king bed, I cried. I was so happy and so excited. We have the classic two duvet trick. I cannot take credit for that, but two duvets is, you can't go back. Once you try it, it's just the way to go. The bed and the side tables, I truthfully didn't intentionally choose a lower one, but now I really love the feel of it being low. The side tables are from Crate & Barrel, and I believe the headboard is actually from Wayfair. We got it. It was one of the, I think that was the first purchase, obviously, because it was the first time we had ever had a king bed since being married. And it was so exciting to get to have that. We have a gigantic TV in here because that was a Nate thing that I got no veto on. But I'm glad I didn't get the veto on it, because nowadays I prop, a YouTube ambiance up there, little crackling fireplace with little fantasy thing going on. Then I have my mini screen Pinterest on the side, then my small screen TikTok with my tea. It's very great. I highly recommend that. This is my husband's side of the bed. This is also where all of her toys go. Again, we have different designated drawers for all of my daughter's toys. So she has toys in there because every morning when we go and bring her, or she wakes up earlier than us, bring her in here, we just throw her in the bed and we just mess with her for a long time. And so it's always key to have stuff over there. We've got laundry baskets. We've got our neighbors that, we wave hi to. We're, close with them. This is my husband's armoire for all of his suits, all that jazz. My husband's watch collection right here is super cool. And then this, honestly, is probably the busiest space in this apartment. This is just like my girl throw up vanity, which I love. It hasn't been intentional, but you'll see even on my nightstand, I've collected perfumes over time. I kind of love wearing a different perfume every single day, depending on my mood, and it's just been very fun. I think there's such a beauty and artistry to them, and it's been very fun to get to collect that over time. Not to be super dark or deep, but one of my first pregnancies was a miscarriage, and I didn't want to forget about that or forget about them, and so I have both of my BB's very first ultrasound frames framed up, and it makes me just smile, and I'm so thankful for both of them, and I'm so thankful I got to experience that twice, and having this here is super special to me and super important for me. I think it brings awareness, and I think it makes people not feel alone when it happens to so many people. So I always love talking about the miscarriage that I had, and if I didn't have, if that baby, it's crazy thinking about just the timing of everything and how I had to go through that to have my daughter, and it was always supposed to be her. And but I also want to thank baby sibling for guiding her to us, and so I always like to keep that there and always want to talk about that. I think that's super important. this painting right here, she doesn't normally live here, if I'm being truthful. This is a painting I did in college. And it was right after I went back to art school after I was Miss America. And so she means a lot to me. It was a very like weird emotional identity crisis point in my life, but she doesn't live here normally. She actually lives in my daughter's room, which totally makes sense because she's hot pink, it's pink, whatever. And she switches spots. So she doesn't normally live here, but she's living here for right now. And she says hi. We love her. I always like loved art and knew I wanted to be an artist, but truthfully, I just didn't think that that was something I could do in my life. And I didn't start off as an art major in college either. I started off as a business major just because I thought that was the right thing to do. And it wasn't until, I was drawing at 3 a.m. every night that I thought I'm probably not in the right spot. And so I switched to an art major, and I've loved being able to do it. And I've been fortunate enough to continue to create and sell my art and go into that venture. It's been super fun and really life-giving. I love getting to create things, and finding out what that means as a mom too has kind of totally shifted. What I paint, how I paint, when I paint, all that is very different now too, but getting to be an artist is a huge part of me, and so I want to keep that flow going as long as I can. These are not mine. These are ones that I find so much inspiration from. I found these at the Grand Bazaar on the Upper West Side, and I just love them so much. Honestly, so many of my recent work looks like these not like these are fantastic. The detailing is amazing. I just love looking at them. They're single line drawings that I find so beautiful, but a lot of my recent work kind of follows this little theme of documenting New York. I feel so fortunate that we get to live here. I love living here, and getting to document it in my way is something that I want to do. I know that I will look back on those so fondly. This did not look like this. My husband actually completely redid this during paternity leave. Apparently he was bored or something. But so completely redid the vanity and the mirror, and it was a super fun project. To be honest, we were kind of going stir crazy, so it was a really great project to have, and I love the way that it turned out. But it just kind of flows with the space of the room, very neutral colors in this space, still keeping that very calm mindset of when I walk in here, I sleep. And knowing that. When it comes to renovating a rental, my opinion is do it. You are living in there. I think that, like the wall molding I had, it's in every single room in that apartment. Did it take a super long time? Yes. Will it be kind of annoying to take down? Sure. Do I love looking at my walls? Absolutely. You want to pour love into your space, and then it'll love you back. And so if you're in a rental and you're like, should I do this? Why not? It's just paint or wall molding. You can always take it down. But this is our room. This is probably one of the calmest spaces, and it's been very great. And from the dining room is our kitchen, so come on in. This actually got totally redone 2 years ago now. Before, if you can imagine, it was actually a lot smaller. There was an entire cabinet thing on the bottom here that pushed it this way, so there really could only be one person here at a time cooking. And 2 years ago, it got created into the white stuff that you see now. And it actually wasn't until recently that I started decorating this space. I had a child, and so I was doing other things for a long time, and just recently started making it a cozy kitchen that we wanted to feel like I wanted to cook in. One of the big things though, I would love to have a lot of decor on the counters, but I also like to cook, and so having the space is crucial. And this is so much space, it's insane compared to what we used to have. And also, this is a very minor detail, but if you're in New York, we used to have a kitchen dishwasher bunk bed situation, and so the sink was only like 2 inches, and it was just water everywhere. Insanity. And so having a sink that's like, it's such a luxury. This is amazing. I love this. But keeping things clean in here is crucial, while also a little bit of cozy. A few of the family items in here, I have this, my mom got me this gift. It's my grandmother's recipe in her handwriting of unspannkaka. We're Swedish, and this is what we have every Christmas morning, which is very special to me. And in this room, we kind of have just a bunch of random art. There's truly was no vibe other than, does this feel like a kitchen vibe? And if I just said yes by a gut check, then it went in here. This is where, I make tea every single night religiously. I've become my mother and my grandmother, as we always do. It's a gift. We always have tea. We come in here every morning. I know maybe I mentioned this, but in every room in our house, we have games for our daughter because there's, every room is hers as well. So we have kitchen games, this is gonna be hilarious, but if I want to make breakfast, we put this on the ground and this is kitchen game. It's just espresso pods, but we have kitchen games, we have games in our room, games in the cupboard, lots of random stuff, but things that are, fun for her to do in here too is always key. In here is where we keep all of our pots and pans, because that's where you got to keep your storage. There's no other place to put them, so they go in here. This is our fridge door. We're a big Christmas card family. Because this is so small, all of our Christmas cards would fall off and I would get sad. So this is our Christmas card door. This just has, fun things now. This is our daughter's Valentine that we made this year. So proud of her. But so yeah, and that's our kitchen. Whenever I think of the word home, I think of a feeling of nostalgia, and I think of a feeling of comfort, and rather than a space. And I think if you're lucky enough, the space that you live in will start to feel like home. I feel like this place, over a few years, whenever you move somewhere, that place is not going to feel like home right off the bat. But I think that when you live life there and you have memories there, that place feels like home. This place is where we walked home from the hospital and brought our daughter here. This is where, we brought our son home. This is where we, experienced so much life and highs and lows. And I feel very fortunate that this place feels so much like a reflection of us, and it feels like home. There we walk in and deep breath, not have to think about it, and you can just be, which I think is it.
Yeah, piggybacking off that, it's the memories that you make and that you experience there, right? And to your point, we had amazing time and memories here as just us.
Yeah.
And then we brought Fitz home, and that became our home, right? And now it's Adeline who's here, and going for work every morning, and you standing there holding her, waving me goodbye, and I come home every day and she's waiting for me and smiles and then turns around and I chase it. Those are the memories that we're making here that I think really
make it a home.
Make it a home to us, yeah.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.